Right. No SDRs. Have no plans on getting one. Kind of know about them, but not feasibly usable in my case. And had lost power here for a little bit, not long. And I was wondering, did anybody else lose power? Have wind gusts 17 to 20 miles an hour here, and not much snow. Just a white coating on the ground. No real depth to it. With that, I'll listen for a little bit, but I gotta get going upstairs here, so I just wanted to get in here and see what was going on. K9UDS, back to net.
K9UDS, KT9G. No worries. I got you marked as no traffic, but I'll keep you on the list in case you want to jump in. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, I know. I heard. I may need to... Hold on. Yes, I heard. Hold on. Okay. So, well, I'm glad we got to catch you in, get you pulled in here at the beginning there, and sorry, there's kind of a little thing going on at home here, so I missed a little bit of that, but no worries. No, they're not for everyone. There's kind of some niche use cases for it. There's some other fun stuff for it that you can do, but hopefully we can chat about it more. If you can keep us in one ear, that's fine. If not, you got a thing upstairs. Have a great night, and it was good chatting with you. So, all right, KD9JTI, Greg, go ahead. Floor is yours.
KD9JTI, thank you. No, I don't have any of those old things. Right? Doggone, nobody better mention any more Raspberry Pi. Get me hungry again. Good gravy. Anyway, no, I don't have any of those things you're talking about. We're just here on 2 meters, that's it. K9JTI, back to you, Jim.
KD9JTI, KT9G. Sorry, so we just had a little bit of a thing going on at the house. One of my huskies just ran off, so the wife had to run after him, so I've got the kid on my lap. You know, never good timing for such things. Do you want to say hi?
Yeah.
Say hi.
Hi.
You going to tell them your name?
Aaron.
Aaron. Say Kilo Tango 9 Golf Third Party.
For party.
Okay. All right. Thank you, buddy. Okay. So I am sorry. I did not catch everything you said there because I had to step off for a second because the wife was running out to try and catch the dog. Sorry. Absolute chaos going on here right now. So can you go ahead and summarize what you just said so I can pick it up and we can jump forward? But I'm going to throw it back to you because I missed that. So go ahead.
KD9JTI, I just mentioned that I didn't have any of that stuff. I just don't want to hear any more Raspberry Pi. I'm going to get awfully hungry again. KD9JTI.
Oh, okay, yeah, no worries. Well, I know that's kind of a fun little, I know that was a fun little adventure you've been on with your computers recently, so that's good. All right, KD9VID, Ward, go ahead. The floor is yours. KD9VID, Ward, if you're still with us, go ahead. The floor is yours. All right, I'm going to go ahead and switch him to not heard. I'm not getting anything out of that. My SWR is still good, right? I just want to make sure my antenna didn't fall off the roof there. I know the wind's been really bad, so. All right, that'll bring us down to W9GTZ. Jim, go ahead. Floor is yours.
W9GTZ. I do have an SDR play, the regular SDR play. I've been trying to program it, or trying to get it to work. I want to use it for waterfall display along with the wind-free Yazoo on my FT991A. I'm having less than successful results in getting it loaded. I got a transmit-receive switch that I think I've got working properly now and got the right connections onto the radio, but I'm not doing well at all getting the SDR play to do what it needs to do. Every time I log into it, I get a note that says no RSPs can be found. Would you like to start SDR Uno with a WAV file? Now, what do they mean by a WAV file, and what do I do with it?
Well, W9GTZ, this is KT9G Net Control. So, I mean, WAV it's just an audio format specifically. There's usually online there's online converters, and I think you can do converters with things normally. So you can, like MP3 or MP4s, you can convert them to WAV files. But I don't have an SDR play. I have a cheap one. I have an RTL SDR, so I don't know exactly. I don't know if you're using SDR Uno. I think that's the software that most people use with the SDR play. So that might be part of it. Now, I do know that there is another person who normally, who may jump on when I pick up. I'm not sure. He has got an SDR play. He might talk about that as well. But yeah, there's that. So hopefully someone else can kind of help answer that question too. But I don't have an SDR play, so I can't say specifically. But we're 15 past the hour. We're down at the bottom of the list, so let's go ahead and see if there's anybody else listening who would like to go ahead and check in on the Wednesday Net Elmer Net, A Alpha through Z Zulu. Go ahead. Coming up, please.
W9ABE comment, Jim.
Yeah, W9ABE, go ahead. You can throw your comment out, and I'll do another check-in. Go ahead.
Just want to make a note on the SDR play. A lot of times if they don't have the SDR connected, there's the API error which comes up, which prevents it from happening. So you may want to check that. Number two is you have to sometimes start with a frequency in there to get it going. I played around with them a little bit, so I just wanted to mention it. W9ABE clear.
Okay. Yeah, thank you, W9ABE. W9GTZ, did you catch that?
Yes, I did. And I was at one time getting an API error, and well, I deleted the SDR Uno and reloaded it, and now I'm not getting the API error. But what really confuses me is I don't know why I would even have a WAV file or want one. That just doesn't make any sense at all. And maybe the problem comes in is I've got a used SDR plate that I got a feeling may or may not be damaged. I don't know how you can even tell. And maybe that's my problem. I don't know. I had problems getting the transmit-receive switch to work. It wasn't working right, and I finally found out that you got to pull a jumper inside the SDR plate for the transmit-receive switch to work. But that's where I'm at this point. I'm beginning to think I don't need waterfall.
Okay. W9GTZ, KT9G. Did want to give an update. wife did get the dog, so we're good. He just likes to run, but he doesn't. He runs. He doesn't. It's weird. He doesn't run away. He just runs, and sometimes you can't see him. But usually he comes back, and he just wants to play. But he's a good boy. He's right here, so we're good. Okay. Let's do one more here. Anybody else, A Alpha through Z Zulu, who would like to go ahead and check into the Wednesday Night Elmer Net? Go ahead. Come now, please.
K89 TGM on the way to work. Let's see if we can actually do this, Jim.
K89 TJM, you came in perfectly crystal clear that time. Not sure if you just are in a better spot or if you changed anything out, but I got you on there. Before I call again, do you want to let me know, are you kind of in the same spot, or did you change anything, or are you in a different location? Go ahead.
Yeah, what I did, I switched out radios. You know, that's the one from last week. Left home at about 10 minutes ago, so I'm on my way, but I had no traffic. I just wanted to see, because I'm in that area up here. There's kind of that dead zone over by the 513 tower. So, yeah, I just wanted to see if I can hit it, but maybe I'll check in by the time I get to work. You know, if not, then I'll just be in the background.
Okay, sounds good. I got you as no traffic, but yeah, you're coming in fine. There's a little bit of flutter, but besides that, you sound great. So, all right, anyone else? A Alpha through Z Zulu for the Wednesday Night Elmer Net. Go ahead, come now, please. All right, hearing none, that'll bring us up to the top of the list. I've got no traffic. Okay, well, actually, before we go to the top of the list, I'll go ahead and tell you what I was doing with my SDR. I have an SDR. I've got a little dongle. The RTL SDR is like $30. It's not very good. I do know that when I was using it for HF testing and trying to monitor HF stuff, the selectivity wasn't very good. I was picking up like AM and FM stations, like broadcasting stations, on harmonics all over the place. It wasn't very good at cycling it out. But anyway, it also could monitor higher frequencies in the UHF, VHF ranges, and most recently, a friend of mine suggested I tried to use it to monitor the trunked police scanner frequencies, and so I did. And I ended up using a software called Unitrunker, and was able to monitor one of the control frequencies and was able to pick up police scanner, trunked police scanner from my little $30 SDR. Now, that being said, there was a little bit of a downside to it. The $30 SDR that I have only has a 1.92 megahertz bandwidth for monitoring, which isn't enough to pick up the range of trunked frequencies. So if you monitor the control frequency and you follow it when you're doing the trunk following, about a third of those channels were out of the range of what was in the bandwidth for monitoring. And so I missed about a third of the conversations because it would hop between those frequencies. So those lower frequencies, the ones that were outside of the control, I couldn't hear them. So I may end up getting myself a little bit nicer SDR at some point, one that has maybe a 4 megahertz range. The SDR plays have a 10 megahertz range, which is pretty cool, but those aren't cheap, $200 or something like that. I mean, they're not super expensive, but as far as SDRs go, they're not cheap. So I may play with that, but using that to monitor police frequencies was kind of fun, using that trunking software. So that's what I was using it for recently. So there's that. All right. Now we'll bring it up to the top of the list. KD9, JTI, Greg, go ahead. Floor is yours.
K9, JTI. Hey, now I know why you got Debian Linux. Man, I couldn't believe how much ham radio software that thing had on there. repositories, and in the documentation, they have a separate manual there for amateur radio maintenance. I gotta see what this thing is about. No, it's not just vacuuming and blowing off the dust out of your radio. It's a little bit more to it than that. But, hey, see what you got in there. And as soon as I get everything all set up, I'll get into it. But, when you gotta use it with HF, right? I mean, a regular 2-meter, a regular dual bander VHF, UHF won't work. You're gonna have to use HF. KD9JTA.
KD9JTI, KT9G net control. So that last question that you had about using it with HF and not UHF, VHF, were you referring specifically to the SDRs? So before I'm gonna throw it back to you real quick. There's only there are only 3 of us on right now, so we've got a little bit of time. But I did want to clarify that. But then the other thing was, yeah, I was actually very surprised when I first started getting into kind of digital modes, and by that I mean like FT8, JS8. I don't mean D-Star DMR. The amount of software that is available for Linux out of on those repositories. So Grid Tracker, WSJTX, JS8, a lot of different logging softwares, a lot of different satellite tracking softwares. They're all available on Linux. So Debian definitely can support a lot of that. There are certain programs that don't run on Linux. Ham Radio Deluxe being one of them, which is kind of like a very common or a very popular one. So there are some things. I think UniTrunker, the thing that I was talking about using my SDR, I think that might only be Windows. I have another laptop over here that runs Windows. That's what I was using to play with that. I was going to try and cut over. There is another trunking SDR trunk. I don't remember what it's called. That does support on Linux. So there's that. But to your question before, was it the SDR that you were asking about on with whether or not it could only do HF, or was it something else? Go ahead.
JTI. No, I meant like WSJTX, the different digital formats like FT8 and all that stuff. It's all HF frequencies, right? 20 meter, 10 meter, 40 meter, etc. Which I don't have an HF radio anymore. Nor antenna. Never, well, long time ago I had an antenna. But it's all water under the bridge, I guess. That's primarily getting everything all set up. Right now I'm doing my pills. KD9JTA, back to you.
Okay, yeah, KD9JTI, KT9G net control. So, to answer that question, no, it's not only HF. WSJTX for FT8. Now, okay, WSJTX and JS8 call both support any frequency. You can do it on any frequency you want. Now, that being said, you're not going to find people on 2 meters or 77 meters very often. 70 centimeters very often, because it's very local. But I will tell you that I have done JS8 and FT8 on 23 centimeters with local people for fun, for testing. So it does work. You can do it on UHF, VHF, and SHF. So no, it's not limited to HF only, but that is where you will find mostly everybody. So there is that. But don't think that the software or anything is locked to it. It's just the user volume is. All right, let's try VDI again. Didn't catch you last time. Ward, if you're still out there, Kilo Delta 9, Victor India Delta, if you're still with us, go ahead. You can take the floor.
I apologize. I had to step away for a minute, but I'm back now. I really don't have any traffic. I'm enjoying the discussion. I've run Linux a lot, and I thought about adding a Linux server. I've got a couple SDRs to my shack down here. My shack is relatively new, so I'm just kind of listening in tonight, if that's okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Listening is perfectly fine, and even though you did just spark me, if you said you're going to add a Linux server to your home setup there, I highly suggest you take a look at something called Proxmox, Proxmox. It is a hypervisor. It's open source hypervisor, Linux based. I think it's BSD based operating system. Absolutely amazing, completely free. Just take a look at it if you have a chance. It's Proxmox. And let me know what you think of that. Maybe next week or whenever you pop back on, or send me an email or something. But I have got a home server here that I run that I absolutely love. I've got a couple of friends that I have converted over to Proxmox from their other home server setups. I've had a couple of friends that were running ESXi and Zen servers and got them all converted over to Proxmox. So if you want to run a home server, take a look at it. It's amazing. So, all right, sounds good. That brings us to W9GTZ. Jim, go ahead. Floor is yours.
I don't think I have anything else to add tonight, so I'm going to just sit back and listen and make this my 73s round. 73s, everybody. Good evening. Have a good week.
Okay, yeah, no worries. Have a great night. Stay safe. Hopefully the weather over by you isn't too bad. I can hear the wind just like ripping through the screens in the window behind me. We just put a bunch of Christmas lights up in our front yard, and we put some heavy-duty stakes to keep them into the ground, and they're not handling it well tonight. But that tends to happen this time of year. The nasty winds come in. So, all right, 73s. Have a great night. If you're listening in and you got anything that you want to comment on, go ahead and just throw your call sign on again. I'll be happy to pick you back up. All right, so that brings us down to line number 9 here, and we're at the half-hour mark. So we're doing 15-minute chunks here, so not too bad. Let's see if there's anybody else out there who would like to go ahead and join the Wednesday Night ElmerNet. A Alpha through Z Zulu. Go ahead, come now, please.
This is Kilo Bravo 9, Victor Sierra Foxtrot. John, no traffic.
WI9MRC, repeater.
Hey, John, last station. I thought you said Kilo Bravo 9 Victor Sierra Foxtrot. I don't know if I got that right. Can you give me your call sign one more time? I don't think I got it right.
That's correct. Kilo Bravo 9, Victor Sierra Foxtrot.
Oh, there we go. I did have it right. But for some strange reason, my program freaked out there. Got you, John. You said you had no traffic? Go ahead.
I have no traffic, but I'm enjoying the conversation. Back to net control. This is KB9 VSF.
All right, perfect. Yeah, I got you on there, no traffic. Anyone else? A Alpha through Z Zulu. Go ahead.
This is Kilo Echo 9 Bravo November Yankee Mobile monitoring, enjoying the conversation.
KE9BNY, Eric, I got you on there. Your mobile, let me get you the mobile flag on there. I couldn't hear if you said that you had traffic or not. Did you have traffic? Go ahead.
No traffic, just mobile, keeping my eyes on the road.
Okay, yep, good for you. I know, it's pretty nasty out there right now, so yeah, stay safe. Okay, let's do one more. A Alpha through Z Zulu. Go ahead. Come now, please. All right, hearing none, we'll go ahead and bring it up to the top of the list. And for the second thing that I was going to talk about was one of the things, I think I brought this up a few weeks ago. Sadly, I was very busy this last month. I was out for a week for work, and my wife had some stuff going on, so I missed the net one night. And so, or not just the net, but other things going on. So I wish I could record what's happening in my office right now. My child has decided to turn my office into his playroom because he likes being with the family, and you know what? That actually makes my heart warm, knowing that he just wants to be around us. I also really enjoy that he loves talking on the radio, so I am going to pressure him to be one of the youngest people to get his tech license. So I'm going to start making him study very soon. He's already 3.5-ish, so I think he's about ready to start studying for his tech license easy enough. So the other thing I wanted to ask was, does anybody have any more winter projects? One of the things that we have coming up, sorry, I kind of tangented off there. Me being busy meant that we didn't get to do POTA this last month. So hopefully we will do a POTA outing in December. I know that Wisconsin isn't the most hospitable place for doing POTA in the winter, but I don't care. I want to do it. It's going to be fun. Which brings into the question of, are we going to do Winter Field Day as a club? And I would very, very much love to. I know that it's been kind of tossed around and mentioned here or there in some places that we can do it, but at this point in the season, we need to actually sit down and figure it out. So I am going to hold Karen's feet to the fire and figure out if that's something we are going to officially do, because that would be a lot of fun. I do plan on doing a POTA activation as this month. It will either be this weekend or next weekend. I will make the announcement at some point. And if I don't, it's not going to happen because the holiday season. So if we don't do it this weekend or next weekend, we won't do it December either, but then we'll do it again in January. But January is field day, so we'll do it there. So anyway, are there any winter projects that people are working on, things that they want to get done in their home that they don't have to do outside? Do you have any attic antennas that you want to work on? Do you have anything you want to do with your shack while the weather's bad? Or do you have anything not ham-related, tech-related, if it has to be? But if not, go ahead. Just let me know what you got going on over the winter to improve the situation. So let me reset real quick so I can pass it on. Okay, so that was the second half of the net. That's the seating topic and whatnot. So KD9, JTI, Greg, go ahead. Floor is yours.
Well, thank you, KD9 GTI. Not that I have anything planned. For the last couple of years, I've had a nasty habit of always getting COVID over Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, a couple of days before and after. Was never anything big deal. I mean, last year I ended up having with COVID and I ended up in the hospital, and I feel fine. I was just really, really super weak, and the fire department took me over, to the hospital, and guess what? It was kind of weird to having nurses and aides coming in your room wearing hazmat outfits. I mean, you couldn't even see their face. Well, but I just felt fine. No problems. But I've just had a nasty habit of doing, what was it, for about the last 4 years. Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, I end up in the hospital with COVID, or I have COVID at home. KD9 JTI, back to you.
KD9JTI, KT9G net control. Well, I'm sorry. That sounds poopy. The first time I ever got COVID was over Christmas. I actually remember sitting in this very office watching, we did Christmas over Zoom. Was it? It was Zoom, wasn't it, honey? It was like, yeah, we did Christmas over Zoom with my cousins and my uncles and aunts, and my wife was living in the guest room side of the house, and I was quarantined to the bedroom and my office where I was like working and whatnot. So I do remember that. But I've gotten COVID a few times after that, but I was never unlucky enough to get it hit right on the holidays. I do empathize with you on the nurses coming in hazmat suits. I do remember one of the times I got COVID, my son got it as well, and he was very young at the time, so we had to take him in to get some inhaler treatment so that he could breathe better. And one of the nurses came in that full get-up, so I don't blame her. Like, I don't want to go home with it. So, but yeah. Hopefully you don't get it this year, so we'll see. All right, KD9VID. Ward, go ahead. Floor is yours. I think you're still with us. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm still here. Couple of things. You asked tech projects and ham projects. Project 1, I received a new antenna for my HF radio I was going to put up tonight, and tonight's not going to work. And then you and I will have to get together and compare notes, because I have an ESXi box here, and I've got about 6 virtualized servers, and I'm in the tech game, and I've got more technology than you can imagine. And my third project is I'm working on a whole bunch of Raspberry Pi projects and some ham stuff for my boats. So that's my list this winter. KD9VID, back to that.
Oh, yes, we do need to connect. Yeah, that's what I do for a living. So would be very, very, very interested in hearing about what you got set up there. KD9VDI, VID, KT9G. Yeah, so I ran ESXi for quite a long time. When I was going to college, they had, now I can't remember what it's called. I don't know. It's basically like a store that you can go to as a student and get stuff for free. I was going to school for network engineering and network security, and they had a MSNI, I don't know, some sort of store, and commercial license ESXi for a year was available for students. And so I got that every year as a student, and then I actually ended up staying as a mentor for the school while I stayed in town for a few years after, and kept coming in and giving talks and helping the teachers out with stuff because I really enjoyed that school. And as such, I kept getting free ones from other students. So I had an ESXi server for about 6 years, fully licensed. But then after that, it kind of I lost access to it, and it's not the cheapest thing in the world. But that's when I found Proxmox, and I honestly, even if someone was to give me an ESXi server, I would choose Proxmox over it. I don't know. I just like it. I just really like it. ESXi does have some really fancy networking features, though. But I don't want to tangent too far off on that. But yeah, let's link up and talk about that. That'd be great. So I'm glad you've got those. Oh my gosh, my child over there. Hopefully that didn't blow y'all's ears up there. We can chat about it. So as far as me, I've got a couple of. Well, hold on. Let me break for a second. Bring it down to the bottom of the list. Everyone else is with no traffic. Let me bring it to the bottom of the list and throw out. Is there anybody who is already out there listening with no traffic that likes to throw a comment out? Go ahead. Come down, please. Okay, hearing none. The projects that I've kind of got going on. So over the summer, I did get up a couple of extra antennas, and as I was saying earlier on in the net, I did do FT8 and JS8 over 23 centimeters with someone down around Wind Lake area. And for me, that's about a 15 miles as the crow flies. So not too bad. The one thing is that the 9700, by default, its drift on those higher frequencies is a little bit too big for those modes. They do make an add-on where you can put a new chipset in and sync it up with a GPS clock and get the frequency drift narrowed down, and that helped a lot. The other guy got one of those, and it was working. So we were able to make a contact on 23 centimeters using that. So, but that required me putting up. I've got a 25-foot run of LMR 600 up to a 8-foot beam. No, sorry, don't say beam. Vertical in my attic for 23 centimeters. So I have a pretty decent 23 centimeter setup. And I've been asking, and I'll ask it again, if people are listening in the area, let me know if you've got 23 centimeter capabilities, because I'd like to play with it more. I've got a pretty decent 23 centimeter setup, so would love to play with that some more. So that's another winter project that I want to work on, but part of that resulted in me needing to take down my UHF VHF antenna that's in my attic that I'm using as a extreme weather backup, which has a coax line run down to the basement. So I gotta put that back up, so I need to get a new mast up there. So that'll result in me having a 6-meter dipole, a 20-meter dipole, a 220 vertical, and a UHF VHF vertical, and a 23 centimeter vertical, all shoved in my attic. So I've had a lot of fun this last year with that. So okay, so with that, we're at the 45-minute mark. We're right there on the 15-minute marker, so that's good. Let me see. Is there anybody else out there, A, Alpha through Z Zoo, who would like to join the Wednesday Night Elmer Net? Go ahead. Come now, please.
K9 TGM. I made it to work, Jim. I do have a general question. Not really hammer related, but, go ahead.
Okay, yeah. I got you marked as back with traffic. I will pick you up. Let me do one more call out, and then I'll pick you up. Anyone else, A Alpha through Z Zulu, for the last quarter of the Wednesday Night Elmer Net? Go ahead. Come now, please. Alrighty. Before I say hearing none here, let me, KD9 TGM. Wayne, go ahead. Floor is yours.
Yeah, thanks, Jim. KD9 JTM. Yeah, just a quick question. Be a little techie. What I want to do, and I know it's possible, I just want, your opinion or anybody else's opinion. My main computer, that's my computer, my gaming computer, so I'll be specific, is down in my basement. I use it for gaming, I use it for, ham-related stuff and whatnot. I hate my basement. I really do. But, I still use it as in, just being down there, it's my impromptu shack, with my stuff down there and kind of my man cave area. But again, I just haven't got the basement tutor the way I want it. And plus, the heat down there sucks. So I wanted your opinion and anybody's opinion. If I was to remote my computer from the basement, again, up one floor, would it be possible to do it wirelessly, just to have the computer control, to have the keyboard control, all that stuff, mouse control, and put it on my TV in my living room? I know I can run cable. I can do that probably, but I just wanted to think. I was trying to look online, look around, see if I could find something that would actually work and, again, still have the same type of performance for my gaming PC. Because one of the games that I play is very, very, very taxing on the system. So I just wanted your opinion of anything that I could probably do, if not just say to heck with it and just run wire up, or just suffer through the cold in the wintertime when I'm down there. KD9 TGM, back to that.
Yeah, KD9 TGM, KT9G net control. So sadly, no. No, there's not anything you can do about that. there is currently, well, I mean, it is 2024. I haven't looked in a little while, but I'm going to promise you that there is nothing that will give you the latency you need for gaming to be able to play on a system remotely. So the mouse keyboard, from mouse keyboard to your main computer and the display specifically, you will not get the latency that you need for gaming, for sure. Most of the remote protocols, if you were going to use kind of standard remote protocols, just don't have that in mind anyway, so they're always going to be kind of laggy, even if it's like a foot away from you. I'm sure if you've worked in computers before, if you remote desktop into anything, there's going to be a lag no matter how close it is to you. It's just the way the protocol works. But as far as trying to do, like, even with Bluetooth, even with the newer Bluetooth, there is enough of a lag where it'll cause a problem, especially for gaming. Now, I don't know what kind of gaming you do, but if you're doing like Counter-Strike or anything where it's first-person shooter, where reaction time is really important, you're going to be very upset trying to do that. Cables might be an option, but it depends on how long you have to run them. There are limitations to cables. HDMI 2.0 has a limitation. I don't remember what it is. I do know that USB 3 has a limitation of like 10 meters, which should be plenty. I think it's 10 meters. I'd have to look it up. I do know that they have limitations before it completely cuts out. But no, I hate to sound like a Debbie Downer, but you're just going to be very unhappy if you try and set it up that way. Now, that being said, is there a particular reason that you can't move the PC up into a area, maybe into a cabinet or something that you can get it in, and then have the cables come out of that nicely into an area, kind of put it on a desk like it would be like a console? Hold on, let me reset real quick. So there is that, but long story short, yeah, sorry. No, wireless right now or remote management for a gaming PC is just still not really a thing. So I'll throw it back to you real quick to see if that's kind of what you've picked up from reading on the internet or anything you've heard. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen it at least to where, probably wasn't all that possible to do it wirelessly. I have seen guys that actually do it, as far as, running the wire. But again, I didn't look up the specifics as far as how long of a run, I would need as in before I started losing it. And yeah, back to your point. Yeah, sure, I can go ahead and just take it and, bring it upstairs and whatnot. I've quote unquote threatened that with the wife, But again, because of the way I work, on the weekends, I'm still up late. Not all the time, and it doesn't matter. I got an Xbox upstairs, anyway too. But a couple of the games that I play, and just in case I'm, the one example, I play a lot of City Skylines, and it's very taxing on the computer. It's just very taxing. Yeah, but no, again, I just want to just your input. So yeah, I'm gonna look into, just doing it that way. Just having everything kind of tucked away neatly behind my TV in the living room, and run the separate cables for it and whatnot, and just probably go that route. But no, I just want an opinion. So KD9 TGM, back in control.
Okay, no worries. KD9 TGM, KT9G net control. So, and let me clarify this though. If it's taxing on your computer, that doesn't mean that it's going to be a problem playing remote. The remote aspect will basically, just think of it this way. The delay between the monitor in your computer, your keyboard, and your mouse to your computer, that will suffer. So if you're playing a game that's taxing on your computer, just because it has high graphics or whatnot. But it's not essential that your monitor and your keyboard and your mouse refresh instantaneously. Then you might be okay. So if you're playing, maybe a strategy-based game where you have time to make decisions, you should be okay. That's not the same as first-person shooters where if you're off by a quarter of a millisecond on, turning your mouse to the left to react to something, that's different. So it might all just depend on the games that you're playing and whatnot. So so just keep that in mind too. So you could try it. You could try both. Running cables up will probably be fine for you, depending on where you can set if you can set your PC underneath where your entertainment section is in the floor above, and just run maybe 10 feet of cables for each. You might be able to pull that off perfectly fine. And then wireless keyboards from there to there might be fine too. So, I mean, it's kind of just like ham radio. Sometimes you just got to do it and see what happens. So, okay. Let me bring it down. We already did check-ins again, so let me bring it up to the top of the list here. KD9JTI. Greg, go ahead. Floor is yours. KD9JTI. Greg, are you still with us? Go ahead. Floor is yours.
Oops, that's kind of weird. When I think I'm keying the mic and I heard you talking radio, I realized I'm not keying the mic too well. KD9JTI, yeah, I'm with you. I was giving you my 73s. All that talk about Raspberry Pi again, I'm getting hungry again. Doggone it. Anyhow, you guys all have yourselves a fine one. I'm going to get back to get my pills going for the next 2 weeks.
All right, KD9JTI. Greg, it was great having you on as always. So hope to hear you next week. This is KT9G. All right, KD9VID. Ward, go ahead. Floor is yours.
Not a lot. I suppose I can do a 73 round right about now. Just last item is I just moved my ham shack from all the way upstairs to all the way in the basement and redone everything. So everything's kind of in disarray. This is my first net since I moved down here, and it sounds like things are working. So I'm glad to hear that. 73s, everyone. KD9VID clear.
All right, KD9VID. KT9G, net control. Yeah, you sound great. So whatever you did worked. I'd tell you to leave it the way it is, but hearing that you had just moved, I'm sure you might have a little bit of a rat's nest. I have a little bit of a rat's nest, and I've been living in it for a year. I need to clean it up. So, all right, 73s, have a great night. All right, well, that brings us right back to you, Wayne. KD9, TJM, go ahead, if you've got anything to follow up on.
Yeah, I can empathize, with the rat's nest. That's my truck. One of these days, I am just going to take a picture, and put it up on the 9-1 Facebook page so you guys can see how my setup is in here. I mean, it's I don't like it, but again, I've said it before in the past. Since this is a company truck, I got to really do what I can. I mean, it's all I can do. I mean, again, I can't run coax the way I want. I can't do all the things that I want to do. I just can't. Again, they would frown on it. But yeah, other than that, no, I ain't got nothing else to add, Jim. Let's make it 73s. Everybody try to stay warm. I'm going to be out here playing in the wind tonight, but, it's something that I can't handle. It's something I've always done. So, KD9, TGM 73s, and catch up to you guys next week.
All right, KD9, TGM, KT9G, net control. Yeah, sounds good. Well, yeah, for sure. Drive safe. I know I don't know if it's still snowing. It doesn't look like it is. There was some grapple coming down earlier, but right now it just seems like it's kind of cold and windy. So, but either way, stay safe. If a little bit of wet on the road right now could cause some trouble. So, all right. Well, Everyone checked out that round, and we are at the top of the hour. So I think what I might do here is just kind of shut this down. Might make things the easiest here. So let me go to the bottom of the list here and say, is there anybody out there with any late check-ins or last-minute business? Anybody monitoring who wants to throw a comment in or two? Go ahead. Come now, please.
Kilo Bravo Niner, Yankee, Quebec Victor, Shane.
KB9YQV, Shane, I got you on there. Let me do one more call out here, and then I'll come back to you. Anyone else for any late check-ins or last minutes? If you want to get your name on the list and throw a comment or two out, go ahead. Give me your call signs. Go ahead. All right. Shane, KB9YQV, go ahead. Floor's yours.
KB9YQV here. Yeah, I kind of heard some of the net, but I was on the phone with a friend of mine, so I had to turn it off. You were talking about things like SDRs and things like that. I really, it's kind of a curiosity of mine, so I was kind of trying to listen to it, but, you know, she could hear it through the phone, so I kind of had to turn it off. Otherwise, it was distracting her, so... Yeah, interesting topic. KB9YQV back to net.
Yeah, KB9YQV, KT9G, net control. Yeah, they are. So SDRs are kind of an interesting piece of equipment. There's a lot of really interesting things that you can do with them. They are, the best way to really think of them is receive-only PC-based radios. You plug a dongle into your laptop and you use it to do stuff, but it opens up a lot of really fun powers to let kind of more advanced and, well, maybe not advanced, but more niche style software to deal with the signals you're receiving. One of the projects that I've been working on recently is monitoring single sideband, and then using artificial intelligence to do voice to text, and then turning it into keyword notifications. So if my SDR is monitoring single sideband on 20 meters, I can have it tell me if specific call signs are being picked up, or if specific net names are being picked up, or if people are talking about specific topics, and then having it alert an RSS feed. So there's all sorts of fun stuff you can do with SDRs. The sky's really the limit as far as, you know, what you can do with your computer with it. And then I don't know if you picked it up. The last thing I was doing with it is there's trunking software so that you can monitor police scanners, and people have written really nice software to do all of that for you. So with a $30 SDR, you can, you know, get a full trunking scanner. So it's pretty cool. So, well, I got you on the list. Thanks for coming in. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to give it right back to you to let me know if you want a 73 out or if you have a follow-up comment. Go ahead.
WI9MRC, repeater.
KB9YQV here. I do have one last comment before I 73 out. I did listen to a web SDR out of Utah on, I think it was 20 meters, and that was kind of fun. And that you can do on any platform. I did it on my tablet because all you need is a browser for that. You don't have a dongle. You're just streaming their SDR over the web and listening to it online that way. So that was kind of fun. Well, 73s and good night. KB9YQV clear.
All right, KB9YQV, KT9G. Yes, yeah. So you can take your SDR and you can hook it into the internet for anyone else to hook up to. Kiwi SDR is one of them. I think there's a couple of others, but Kiwi SDR is the one that I know of. I've used them before to test myself. I can transmit from my base station and then listen to specific SDR stations via the internet to see if their station is hearing me. So, but you can join your own stuff to their net, and people can jump into your SDR and listen. So, yeah, it's a lot of fun. It really is. So, okay, so yeah, let's close this up here. Anyone else? A Alpha through Z Zulu with any last minute business or late check-ins? Go ahead. Come now, please. All righty. Hearing none, we're going to go ahead and secure this net at 9. Yeah, it's 8:04. Sorry, I still haven't changed my clock, apparently. 8:04 p.m. And as always, thank you all for participating, and a reminder that this net, along with most other nets here on the 9-1 repeater, welcome new operators to experience net control operations by trying a net or two. If you wish to try acting as net control operator, please contact our club president, Karen, KC9WQJ, to participate. All of the net scripts are on the club website for you to review. At this point, I will go ahead and return this repeater to normal amateur use. Again, my name is Jim. 73's to all, and to all, a good night.